Welcome back to Dirty 20, everybody. Today we're finishing off our series on getting into character by talking about alignment. Let's get on with the show. So today's topic is alignment, and this is always one that's gonna cause arguments or certainly a lot of healthy debate rather than arguments. But it is something that D&Ders have been discussing since it came up, and there's lots of videos out there. But today I just wanted to focus on how we can use it to help us get into character rather than debating, whether it's a good thing, a bad thing, whether it should change or not. Let's start by taking a look at the Player's Handbook. On page 122, there is a small section on alignment. A typical creature in the worlds of Dungeons and Dragons has an alignment, which broadly describes its moral and personal attitudes. Alignment is a combination of two factors. One identifies morality, good, evil, or neutral, and the other describes attitudes towards society and order, lawful, chaotic, or neutral. Thus, 9 distinct alignments define the possible combinations. So I'm sure that anyone who has been online looking at D&D things, and even non-D&D things, but you will often find these charts as these memes, which show 9 pictures and have the 9 different alignments. So we'll take a look at one of those as we discuss or we read what the Player's Handbook says about each one. Lawful good. Creatures can be counted on to do the right thing as expected by society. Gold dragons, paladins, and most dwarves are lawful good. Neutral good. Folk do the best they can to help others, according to their needs. Many celestials, some cloud giants, and most gnomes are neutral good. Chaotic good. Creatures act as their conscience directs, with little regard for what others expect. Copper dragons, many elves, and unicorns are chaotic good. Lawful neutral. Individuals act in accordance with law, tradition, or personal codes. Many monks and some wizards are lawful neutral. Neutral. Neutral is the alignment of those who prefer to steer clear of moral questions and don't take sides. Doing what seems best at the time. Lizard folk, most druids, and many humans are neutral. Chaotic neutral. Creatures follow their whims, holding their personal freedom above all else. Many barbarians and rogues, and some bards are chaotic neutral. Lawful evil creatures methodically take what they want within the limits of a code of tradition, loyalty, or order. Devils, blue dragons, and hobgoblins are lawful evil. Neutral evil is the alignment of those who do whatever they can get away with, without compassion or qualms. Many drow, some cloud giants, and yugoloths are neutral evil. Chaotic evil. Creatures act with arbitrary violence, spurred by their greed, hatred, or bloodlust. Demons, red dragons, and orcs are chaotic evil. So that's a very kind of basic breakdown of each of these alignments, and you'll notice that they give you monsters or character backgrounds to give you a general idea. And I think that this is where I personally differ a little bit in my application of it, which we will discuss when we get to talking about this character Hephaestus that we've been going through as we've been going through getting into character. And I definitely feel that your actions and the things that you do have and play a massive impact on your alignment as much as your alignment plays an impact on your character and what they do. And I'll explain when we get to it. But before that, there is some more advice in the Player's Handbook about alignment in D&D. So let's take a look at it. Alignment in the multiverse. For many thinking creatures, alignment is a moral choice. Humans, dwarves, elves, and other humanoid races can choose whether to follow the paths of good or evil, law or chaos. According to myth, the good-aligned gods who created these races gave them free will to choose their moral paths, knowing that good without free will is slavery. The evil deities who created other races, though, made those races to serve them. Those races have strong inborn tendencies that match the nature of their gods. Most orcs share the violent, savage nature of the orc god Grommash, and are thus inclined toward evil. Even if an orc chooses a good alignment, it struggles against its innate tendencies for its entire life. Even half-orcs feel the lingering pull of the orc god's influence. Alignment is an essential part of the nature of celestials and fiends. A devil does not choose to be lawful evil, and it doesn't tend toward lawful evil, but rather it is lawful evil in its essence. If it somehow ceased to be lawful evil, it would cease to be a devil. Most creatures that lack the capacity for rational thought do not have alignments. They are unaligned. Such a creature is incapable of making a moral or ethical choice and acts according to its bestial nature. Sharks are savage predators, for example, but they are not evil. They have no alignment. So here, once again, there's talk in the book about the gods, about the nature and origin of creatures such as celestials, fiends, devils, things like that. And in that aspect, for a DM, alignment is very helpful, right? It helps you just be like, okay, well, this is the goal of my bad guys. Who would they kind of call on to help them? Or, the things that basically mean that you have an idea of what these bad guys are going for. Right? However, when it comes to choosing an alignment for your character, I think there's certain things that come into play. And first of all, obviously, it's your background, right? So if you have a criminal background, I think it's inevitably going to have an impact on whether you choose to be lawful or chaotic or neutral, right? In that sense, I think that you're not locked in, but it just gives you an idea of your character's outlook on life. And I think that it's always useful to ask questions, right? Like, so your character has a goal, right? It might be to overthrow the despot of a land. It might be to save their brother, or to just go out and explore the world, right? But they might have a goal. Now, if you were to ask them, would you be willing to break the law to achieve your goal, right? So, for example, say there is a important book that is part of your cleric's faith, and a local lord has it, says it's his. Would you be okay with stealing that book, right? And another one is, would you be willing to hurt someone to achieve your goals? So say you get into a fight and you capture a prisoner. Are you willing to, torture them or threaten them to achieve your goals? Now, this is where you get into some of the problems that come along with alignment, which is often that people take it to face value. And so the classic example is the lawful good paladin that will not lie, will not, do anything bad, and therefore they kind of like ruin everything. Again, it's a cliche, but it comes from a place of people taking these alignments too much at face value. If, however, you look at it as a starting point for your character. So, for example, let's look at Hephaestus. Hephaestus was a dragonborn from a tribe that, in order to get their compliance, they were they gave up their kind of young children as hostages, right? Again, using the background of Arminius as a Teuton, Germanic person who was taken to Rome and brought up in Rome. So in that sense, my mind is okay. So he grew up in a place where knowledge is really important. Probably rules were really important. So I was like, okay, so I think he would be lawful in that sense, right? Now, I also felt that growing up, he probably grew up with a healthy respect for life, in that, people weren't getting murdered left, right, and center. I also, though, thought, well, maybe he was definitely treated as not one of us, so a little bit kind of to the side. So I thought, okay, well, like good, neutral, that's where I'm hanging. And again, this is a fluid thing, in my opinion. Alignment is something that changes over time, right? Moving forward, I felt that just before he started adventuring, Hephaestus had committed a massive crime, okay? In burning down the library of his adopted kind of temple, right? And this temple is a temple of God, which is the god of knowledge. And so by burning down this library and, I mean, potentially killing a lot of people, that shifted Hephaestus's alignment. And I think that that also made him a more interesting character to play, because there's conflict. There's conflict between his potentially lawful good, lawful neutral upbringing and some of the things that he has experienced, which could possibly have pushed him to chaotic good, chaotic neutral, which is where I feel like I'm playing him right now. He is definitely more comfortable breaking the law now than he was growing up in the temple. And he recognizes that through the things that he's experienced since the great crime that he committed, but also through that moment, that sometimes you do things that are not for the better of people, and it's a selfish act. And so again, I feel like he's shifted towards more neutral. So at the moment I'm playing him chaotic neutral, but my idea for this character would be that as he moves forward, as he experiences big things, that this would have the potential to change. Also, I look at it as a potential arc of redemption, because if he was lawful good, but he has now shifted to be chaotic neutral, then perhaps over time he can redeem himself by bringing law or applying a more just law and helping his people, which I think is a big part of the kind of the core of the character. So thank you so much for listening to our discussion about alignment. Hopefully this has been helpful for you in terms of you getting to grips of how it can help you develop a character that you might be building or thinking about playing, or that you are currently playing. Again, a lot of these things happen as you start playing, I have found in the past. So thanks again. If you have any questions, or if you have any thoughts or feelings about alignment, please drop them down in the comments below. As always, thank you so much for being here with us. We couldn't do this without you. Drop us a like, give us a share if you're feeling generous, and keep slaying. If you've enjoyed this content, then please smash that like button, subscribe, share this around online, and come and visit our website, www.lavictoriaproductions.com, to see all our past episodes, as well as our blog posts and all the stuff that we're currently working on at La Victoria Productions.
why not reach out to us and tell us what you think of our videos? You can reach us on Twitter, at MouthLaVictoria is our producer. We are also on Instagram. I am EnanoLVP, and our producer is Jazzy J. Cherot. We're also La Victoria Productions on Facebook and LinkedIn. Come on by and let us know what you think.